So I got some books and I literally have no self-control, so here is a book haul. All of these are books that I've accumulated over the past couple of months, and I have actually read some of them already, but there's still a few that I really need to read soon. So I guess this is also sort of like my TBR list. Anyway, I have a mix of like classics, contemporary fiction, and one or two fantasy books I think. Okay, for the first one, I got Joy Luck Club, which is a classic. I have already read this book before a few years back, but I somehow misplaced my previous copy and I just couldn't find it anywhere. So when I saw this beautiful penguin edition, I thought, why not? I should just get this. I mean, I did love this book when I first read it, and I would consider it to be one of my favorite classics. So I'm just gonna use that as an excuse to justify this purchase. Next up, I got Buddy by Mona Awad, and I think this is a dark academia type of book. I'm only a few chapters in, and so far it is really interesting. I'm just gonna read the blurb at the back. Blending sharp satire with fairy tale horror, Buddy is a spellbinding trip of a novel from one of fiction's most original new voices. I also saw a lot of good reviews for it, so hopefully I'm gonna love it. The next book that I got was Just Kids by Patti Smith, and this is a memoir, I believe. I don't usually read a lot of memoirs, but I've heard so many good things about this, so I thought I should just give this a try and see whether I like it or not. Next up is Nine House by Lima Dugo, and yes, I know this book has been out for ages and I still haven't read it. I love the Six of Crows duology, so I'm really excited to read more of this author's work. And this is a new adult fantasy, so I'm intrigued. Moving on, I have two romance books on the list, and the first one is Chef's Kiss, which is a graphic novel. I read this for my Reading Only Romance Books video, and this is such a cute story and I really enjoyed it. And the second romance book is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This is my first Emily Henry book that I've read, and I really didn't think that I was gonna love this as much as I did, but honestly it's so good. And now I'm really tempted to pick up Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation because I just can't get enough. Okay, I went out and bought a few Alice Oseman books, the first one being Solitaire, which I actually just finished like 2 weeks ago. I know that Solitaire is actually Alice Oseman's debut novel, but I haven't actually read it until now because I initially read the Heartstopper books first, and not gonna lie, I kinda really enjoyed Solitaire as well. If you're familiar with the story of Heartstopper, we essentially follow Charlie's sister Tori in this book, and the whole thing is told in her perspective. If I'm not mistaken, Solitaire actually takes place in the middle of volume 3 of Heartstopper, at least timeline wise, and in this we get to learn more about Tori as a character, which was great. Then after that, I also got Radio Silence, which I've heard nothing but good reviews for. I don't really know what the story is about, except that Elliot Last from Heartstopper is one of the characters in this, so it will be interesting to read more about him. Okay, moving on, I have a few more classics, and the first one is Brideshead Revisited. I read this for my Reading Like Charlie Spring from Heartstopper video, and I really enjoyed this as well. Although the pacing of the book was a bit slow, not gonna lie. Next up, I have On Booze, which is a short story collection by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This is just a collection of a few stories that were taken from his other books, so that's why it's so short. It was nice to read, but I didn't think there was anything particularly special about it. And the last book that I have here is Carrie by Stephen King. Some of you are gonna hate me, but I've never actually read a Stephen King novel before, so this is actually my first one. And to be honest, I only bought this book because I saw an article where Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things recommended it, and he said that this was one of his favorite books, so yeah. Okay, I think that's all of it. These are all the books that I've bought over the past couple of months. I'm really excited to read the rest of them, so hopefully I can actually finish them in time.